We'll have 8:30 tomorrow, okay? Hello.
Yes,
Tomorrow you'll join at 8:30 and again we'll have 5 day sessions. I mean if 5 sessions are covered in a week, then we will continue, we'll have to break as well. So we'll continue from Monday again.
okay.
Let us complete other first of all, see what was discussed yesterday was about the tables, okay? Now let me complete the user administration part as well. So before completing the user administration, I have asked you to create that. I will complete the important authorization objects thing. I gave you a small assignment. Did you do?
I've tried to restrict
Not
also, Bhargav, but it is not
restricted. You
working
created a
actually.
test user at least.
Yeah, test user created, role created, and
What is the
restricted in
test
the
user?
object level. U underscore Mahmood. MHMW. Yeah.
So I see this role is there. Nice
Mhm.
and nice. Okay, fine. Now see. You understood the intention, right? The you should give access to FC16 and he should be able to view only a specific thing in the system. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
first thing,
Yes.
understand this is as soon as this is SC16 access was given to the user. And here there are two things. See, you did it really good. AGR1251 is the table that you wanted to give access to. You want to give access to. Okay, and I generated the profile. Post generating the profile, I gave the user at u underscore Mahmood. So I log in as u underscore Mahmood. I log in as u underscore Mahmood, and I give you the password. Welcome. What is the password?
987. Welcome 987.
987. Small w,
W caps.
complete
No,
caps.
W caps. No, W caps, rest is small.
So I logged in. I went to here and I gave the thing AGR underscore 1251. I can execute this table. Okay, fine. Ager underscore 125. I can still execute this table. Okay. So the
Yes. Yeah.
restriction what you gave was not working post generating the profiles as well. What might be the reason is what I wanted to explain you today. So
Okay.
for every table in the system, there is a concept called authorization group. What is it called? Authorization group. So
Okay.
authorization, every table will have an authorization group. Not every table, most of the tables, at least the standard tables will have authorization groups, most of it. Okay. Now let us say every table has an authorization group, AG. Okay. Most of the tables, not every. Now let us see how do you check the authorization group for a specific table. How do you check the authorization group for a specific table is you go to the same this and the table to check the authorization group for a table is TDAT. And if at all, if you give the table name AGR underscore 1251, what happens is you get the authorization group as SS. Understood? This is the authorization group. Now let us
Okay.
see the authorization group SS. How many tables are assigned to this? We will check. Okay. So if I check the list of list the authorization group here, I should give sorry. And if I click it, I'll get the list of tables assigned to this authorization group. There are 2,185 tables that are assigned to this authorization group. Okay. Now, if this
Okay.
authorization group is assigned to the user, what happens is he can see, view all the tables assigned to it. Got it? So in this role,
Okay.
if I see the authorization group, you have maintained star. So literally every table in the system is visible to the user. Okay, if let all if I assign the group as SS, saved it, okay, and generated the profile, then I'll just go to this user. Then what happens is I'll go to the user and here I click on Azure 1 to 5, it is still visible. I click on AGR1251. It is AGR1251. It is visible. Nice. Now I'll click VBAC table. VBAC table, and it is not there. So see here for this specific authorization group, I'll just give AGR1251, AGR1252, and VBAC. I'll just search, and I gave three entries, and I'm searching whether these three are specific to this authorization group or not. So if I click it, I got these two only, not the other one, right? So what did you
Mm-hmm.
understand? What if at all if you mention an authorization group here, the tables assigned to this authorization group will be visible to the user. Is this clear or not?
Yes.
Now just now you, so first of all, let me give you a clear understanding. This AGR1251 is a table only that you wanted to give access to. You no longer intend to give access to all the tables that are assigned to this group. So what would you do?
So we kept the authorization group restriction and we give the restriction of the table name also. So both are given, it should be
This will
working.
not work if you give like this. This will supersede it.
Okay.
This will supersede. You deactivate this and you give this, and let us say now you try to let this user execute AGR1251. Is able to execute it. Let us see
Okay.
AGR1252. He will face the authorization issue. So this will supersede it. Okay. Now see, there
Mm-hmm.
is a light there is a light variation here. Let us say if you give the authorization group as, let's say, VA, which
Mm-hmm.
is not specific to AGR1251, then will it be okay? Then AGR125 restriction applies or not?
If the other object is superseding, it won't be working, right?
See, understand this.
Mm-hmm.
This table doesn't belong to this authorization group.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? It
Okay.
gives access to all the tables specific to this authorization group, but not here. Got it?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Understood? So if at all if
Yes.
the business asks you to give only access to this one only, make sure that this authorization group is not assigned to table authorization group in S underscore top underscore this. That's it. If it is there, you will never be able to restrict it. Did you understand the difference?
Okay.
Now, how do you check the authorization group specific to this table? In which table would you check?
TDAT.
TDAT. Super. Now, so this is some other authorization group not specific to this. If it is
So
maintained at the role
what
level, it
will
is
happen
fine.
here, Bhargav?
He will
What will
have, the
happen?
user will have all access to all the tables that is assigned to this specific group and
VA.
also
Okay.
this table.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Got it now? Understood.
Got
I
it. Got it.
think, I don't think that there is
And
uh,
how are you executing without refreshing the other user?
refreshing is not required in S4 HANA, but in ECC only refreshing is required. Okay.
Is it okay?
I mean, S4 HANA it is not. S4 HANA is dynamic, very dynamic. Okay. So let me, well, your doubt is clear, but only in ECC it is required. That is why I'll ask you to refresh. Now let us see in TDAT if there is a VA. So, I mean, I don't know whether VA is, so VA has these many tables. How many tables are there? Remove 200 and
Mm-hmm.
see. So the user will be able to execute all the tables specific to this. Okay. He can execute
Mm-hmm.
T323, all these tables along with AGR underscore 1251. Okay. So let me go to Mahmood. Okay. So will he be able to execute 323? Yes. So it says you are not authorized. So let me see. VA is there. We will execute it, and sometimes it will not work. So he's able to do it. Okay.
Okay.
But will he be able to execute VBAC? Let us see. Yeah, he has access to VBAC also. AGR 1252. No, he shouldn't be able to. AGR
Mm-hmm.
1251, will he be able to execute? Yes, no.
No, only one
He
to
can
five one.
he can execute because at the table level you gave access. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. At the table level he is able to execute. Let us say AGR underscore define. Will he be able to execute? No, because he is not given access. But let us assume if the authorization group of this is here, if the authorization group of AGR underscore define is here, then it supersedes this. Understood?
Mm. Okay.
So let us check the authorization group of AJ underscore define. It will also be SS only. Yeah. Now, if you observe, if I give SS over here, what happens? Even though if you selectively restrict over here, it will not work. Whatever that is assigned to the authorization group will be visible to user. I hope you understood the whole thing, right? Or you have any
Mm-hmm.
doubts?
Understood. This is very clear.
Fine. Previously, what we used to do is we used, I mean, this is 5 years back or 6 7 years back. Okay, there is only one thing that is s underscore tabu underscore dis. Okay, what we used to do is if let us say the user needs only access to ager underscore 1251, what we used to do is we used to create an author separate authorization group, assign it to AGR 1251 and gave only those authorization group over here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
we understood that SS belongs to AGR 1251. So there is a transaction called SC54 where we used to go and we used to basically go to authorization. We used to basically give the table AGR underscore 1251. Remove them first from that. Uh, remove
Authorization
them
group
from
and
this
create a.
thing. Then again, we used to do all this is the biggest thing that we used to do. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Understood. So this is a very
Understood.
I mean, that is why SAP has come up with a concept called S underscore
Mm.
tab underscore name. Previously, I used to teach this also to all my batches, then explain S underscore tab underscore name. So this is no longer being used, so you need not break your head on this. If a user wants to have access to a specific table, maintain S underscore tab underscore mac and make sure that the authorization group specific to that table is not assigned to S underscore tab underscore dis. Okay.
Mhm.
This is an interview question. They will ask you a difference between taboo dis and taboo name. Taboo dis is where we maintain authorization group. Taboo name is where we maintain access to specific table. And the access to authorization group will gives you a set of access to a bunch of tables. And to check the assignment of table to authorization group, we can check it in TDAT table.
Mhm.
Okay.
What is the interview question expected on this?
Interview question, they will ask you the difference only. Taboo dis and taboo name.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
you
This
understood,
is for
right?
the group and
Yeah.
the name is for the individual table.
Yeah.
And
SA
this
38,
is
yeah,
going
right.
to supersede actually
Hmm.
the name. Okay.
So SA 38 is where in which I told you this also yesterday when the closing movement. SA 38 is a transaction where you can execute programs directly. Mahmoud, just understand two things here. This is a very interesting thing. You should be able to understand this, okay? Don't get confused in real time as well, okay? See, SAP ABAP programs, okay? I think they have changed something. SAP ABAP programs will be different in nature, meaning you will be having report programs, you will be having table programs, you would be having functionality things as well. Okay, I'm talking about ABAP transactions, sorry. Meaning what happens is Sometimes when you click on a transaction, MF36, let us assume you will be getting a table over here directly. This is just a table directly that is giving access to where you can edit it as well. So let us see, there is a program that is direct. This transaction gives access to a table, and you can have a new entry over here and enter the details in that line by line item. So there are transactions which gives access to tables directly. There are transactions like PFCG Masswell, which gives access to a report directly where you can do mass maintenance. Okay, we can add and decay it. There are transactions which will actually helps you to do an operation. Are you getting my point or not? Just tell me now. Okay. Hello.
Yes, Bhargav,
Yes.
not
So
completely, but yeah.
yeah, so you should understand. See, in real time, what happens is sometimes they will ask you, they will give just build a transaction on a table and they just update it. So you need to give authorizations. When there is a table, how do you give authorizations? What should strike to your mind? When there is a table, there are two objects associated with that. Those objects are s underscore tabo underscore this, s underscore tabo underscore nam.
No,
And that
yeah.
you should also check that if this table is assigned to an authorization group, then you maintain, then if you maintain the, then you should check with the business whether they're okay to give access to all the tables associated with the authorization group, or they just want to restrict only access to that specific table. If they are specific on restricting the access to a specific table, then you will maintain it. If you maintain both the authorization group and table, it will supersede the authorization groups only supersede. There is no point in maintaining the table at the role level. I hope this
Mm.
explanation is clear to you, right?
Yes, that is very clear.
The same thing apply. So if a T code gives access to a transaction, what is that? Now see, please understand this. If I click MF36, how do you know that this gives access to a specific table? Of course, see, it is clearly evident that it is plant ID, plant, plain text. These are the entries that here you are trying to do. So you can give a plant, you can give an entry and do it. Now, Bhargav, I have a doubt over here. So, okay, what is the table? How do I see? You just go to SC93, and in SC93 give MF36. When you give off MF36 over here and click display, you will be understanding that this will reflect to SM30 only. And the table or view that it gives access will be represented over here. Understood?
Okay.
Now let us say you go to PFCG Masswell. Here what happens is if I click over here, PFCG, okay, yeah, yeah. PFCG master. If I click over here, this will give me access to a program only, not to a SM30. Okay. Now let us say I give a VA01 and I click display. Here it see it gives access to a program, not to SM30, and the table will be displayed over here. You are understanding that. One other way of checking is you go to SU93 and check whether it is redirecting to SM30 and to a specific view or table at the bottom. And there is a
Okay.
specific thing called, let us say some Z transaction, ZUSR02. If I display over here, just understand, this is just again, see SC16 and it is redirecting to table USR02, this specific Z transaction. If I just click on this Z transaction, what it will do, it will directly redirect me to this thing, USR02 table. Understanding?
Okay.
So that is how you use SU93, gather information, and that is other way of doing it also. So when you observe that a T code is giving access to a transaction directly, what would be the authorization objects for that? S underscore tab underscore this, tab underscore. Okay.
Okay.
In real time also, what happens is when you observe a T code that gives access to a table, there will be no authority check statement defined in all these concepts that what we had discussed earlier. Okay. If there is a table, these two authorization objects will by default work. Am I making sense or not? And are you understanding why I'm trying to explain these many times about table and the transaction that is giving access to table? Is this clear? Yes, no?
Yes, Bhargav, yeah.
See, if let us assume for VA01, this is a program, and for the program level they maintain authority check and all. But whereas if there is a transaction like this is just a table. It goes to SC16 and USR02. Or if I go to MF36 standard thing, this is also SM30 and gives access to this table or view. Here there will be no program only, first of all. When there is
Mm-hmm.
no program, and if it is just now, can ask me also, Bhargav, see, how do you identify with SC93 is the only way that I know. There are other ways might be, but SC93 you can easily identify. Okay, if it is SM30 or SC16 or some other transaction that this T code is calling, and you have a venom specified, then there will be no authority check. There is no code defined. The developer basically designed a table and attached this table to this T code. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now here
Okay.
there will be no authority check. What will be there? What will be there? It's on S underscore tab underscore this tab underscore name will by default apply to this transaction. Hope this is
Okay.
clear, right?
So, Bhargav, when we try to restrict, so for example, one T code is assigned to the other T code, not a table. So, what will really happen when we try to restrict it? Will it redirect to the next transaction, or it won't be allowing?
See, you should understand this. See, SC93, if I click the Z transaction, what is this Z transaction doing? This will directly give you this USR02 access. Okay. So if I go
Mm-hmm.
to SC16 and click USR02, this is what I see, right? So likewise,
Mm-hmm.
if I click on this transaction, it will throw me to this transaction directly. So at
Okay.
the code level, it is defined. If it will, you understood, right? It gives access to this table directly. Likewise, if I
Yeah.
click on MF36, what it will do? MF36 will not even, I mean, this will not even gives you access to the view also. If I mention SM30 at the code, at the transaction level, it will directly navigate me to the next screen. Meaning,
Mm-hmm.
if I go to SC93 and MF36, if I click here, SM30 is there. Likewise, if for this table, if I change, see, it is directing to SC16. So if I give SC16 here, it will throw me to the initial selection screen. Rather, if I
Mm-hmm.
specify SM30 over here, the problem over here, I'll tell you. And if I save it, this is not an executable transaction. Okay, I'll just show you executable table. This is inconsistent. Reason being is SM, if I go to SM30 and if I give USR02, this table is not an editable table. The maintenance is not an editable table. It should go via SC16 only. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
got it. So here, based upon the nature of that, they will define. Okay, based on the nature. Let us say I create a small custom code, ZMF36. I can also do it, but this is not required. Okay. So what I'll do is test and I'll give a program like SM30 where a custom table can be created. Authorization object I'll not mention. And I'll just save it. Okay. This is not required for you. Okay. Even I don't know how to do it, but just for okay. Now if I click on ZFM36, ZMF 36. It is throwing me, I don't know, sorry. Leave that concept. So you should just understand in SC93, if you give SN30 and if you give SN30 and USR02, it will navigate to the next screen directly. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Since this is not an executable or editable table, it will throw an error. That is the reason previously they have mentioned it as SC16, so that it will first throw you to initial screen and do. Likewise, if I click on MF36, okay, and let us assume SC16. Of course, this is a standard thing. Let us, okay. Now let us see MF36 execution. See here, you got the selection screen, and after selection screen,
Mm-hmm.
you'll get all these entries. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, it's a selection screen, and then it will not go like this. So if at all, if you give SM30 here, it will not allow you, it will not throw you to selection screen. It will directly throw you to this specific uname only. If I click save, just see, it just went me into the table directly. Got it? And
Okay.
SM30 is for a table that you can edit. That only will be displayed over there. Remaining tables, it will not allow you. Okay. See,
Mm.
my intention is not to teach you how to do all this. My intention is to make sure that you get a good grasp of what authorization objects that needs to be maintained if a transaction code gives access to a table directly. The objects you know, taboo is taboo name, S underscore taboo underscore is taboo name. Now, how do you identify at the SC93 level? If you see either SM30 or SC16 over here, identify the corresponding table. Then at the row level maintain the table or the authorization group. Either of this you maintain at the row level. That's it.
Okay.
Got
Okay.
it?
Okay. Yeah.
And if you maintain the table authorization group, then taboo nam will not function as it gets supersedes. Either one of them you should maintain. And I'll give you a small question to you. Now you try to answer me. You have this transaction Z underscore USR02. This will not, sorry, this will not have, this will not, let me see the Z transaction. So these are the list of Z transactions. Let us look into one. So this is one Z transaction. So this is a table, sorry, I'm in the table. So this is one table. Okay. This is one table that
Yeah.
is giving access to this. Now let me see a custom transaction SC93. So this is a custom transaction that I have. I have displayed this. Now, what would be the SU24 values for this table? Will there be SU24 values for this? I'm going back to the previous concept. Will there be SU24 values for this? No. What values would you maintain for this specific customized transaction? Hello?
Yes, Bhargav, I'm not sure about it.
Understand it, Mahmood. I told you that. What objects will you maintain for this?
Okay, descent taboo. I mean, descent name.
Yeah, you will maintain those, and after maintaining both these objects, then at the role level you will maintain the same thing, right? See, just because you gave as USR02 at the menu, it will not fetch authorization objects, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
You're right. That's it. Just think that. I'm explaining the same thing again and again. You know, you got it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Again, I need not add it and show you at the role level, right? You are aware of all these
Mm.
concepts, right?
Yes, yes,
Now
yes.
the assignment is you add these authorization objects, fetch it at the role level, devise it, and make sure that the restrictions for them are working at the role level also. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now you gave access to jet underscore USR02. The user will execute it. Post executing it, it is throwing him SC16 screen. He should not be able to execute any table other than a USR02. So your restriction should be in such a way that the user should be able to execute USR02 table only. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How do
Okay.
you identify that you should only maintain USR02 table? You identify over here. Okay. Got it?
Okay. Okay.
No, let me. ZABKS. No, let me just give me a minute. See, I created a jet transaction. It is throwing me to so I create the jet transaction, this transaction also. This is also not an executable table. So this transaction also, if I go here
Mm-hmm.
and okay, copy this thing and see this is directing me to SC16, and if I click this, it will direct me to the next step. Got it?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So make a note of this transaction Z underscore ZAV AVI underscore case one.
Okay.
This one,
ERA underscore case one.
this
Case
one,
one.
and Z
Okay.
underscore USR02. These
User
two tables,
USR0.
these roles you give restricted, maintain proper SU24. Since these are customized transactions, standard SU24 values will not be applied. Understand it, okay?
Okay.
Just a minute. Okay, so you do these two things, restricted and also to MF36. Okay, MF36 will all three street transaction. MF36 also will not have SU24, I guess. It has. Okay. So I may give access to MF36 also. And see, for MF36, he directly maintain. You see, for MF36, they directly maintain this view, right? Understood?
Okay. Okay.
So when I maintain at the role level, what will I get? I get S underscore tabu underscore nam only, since I had check indicator values, yes, and I get this. Likewise, so how did he do the standard one? You can check at this, and here you got it right. since SM30 is there. Likewise, you do it for customized transactions also, that too if it gives access to a table. I hope it is very much clear to you right now, right? I need not explain again and again. Got it?
Clear, Bhargav. The only thing is that I may have to go through the recording once again.
Yeah,
So
you should practice. Then so see, just like tables, reports can be executed using transaction SA38. SA38. Okay. What is a transaction? SA38. So here
so
reports
30.
can be executed. I'll see if there are any JET reports that are there in the system. Yeah, there are some JET reports. If I execute, I'm able to execute. The output is displayed here. See, this is the output of the customized report. Okay, got it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Likewise, there are other Z reports that are there. Now, just check for all the Z reports. You have this test program. If I execute this specific report, I'll also get it. So what is a report? A report basically fetches, it queries a database and gives you some result. Understood?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Did you understand the difference between VA01 and a report? What do you do in VA01?
Create a sales order.
Yeah, you create a sales order. That is a program that helps you to do an operation. Now, what is a report? What is a report? Report, I told you now, right? Just a report, let us say PMI report. This will generally queries the database and gets you the data. Okay. So you
Okay.
just need to fill down the date from this to this, and I'll execute some data. And so if there is any data available over there, you get the data, right? Understood? So you can search on plants and search the data.
Okay. So fetches the data based on the query, right?
Based on the query, right. You're understanding, right? The
Yeah.
difference between a normal program. Now, just see, in real time, what happens is, if there is a customized table that you want to edit, the developers will not give access to SC16 and ask the user to do. What they will do, they will develop a customized transaction for the table and edit it just like you have seen now. Likewise, for reports also, they will create customized transactions and ask them to execute. Got it? Clear?
Okay.
So let us take this test report and they're able to execute it. So what is this report? ZMR test report. Now, let me create a transaction for this. Okay, and I'm creating it. Okay. So transactions with parameters. You need not understand how to create all this. Okay. So just you did not break your head. Only is that you should only care for giving access. Okay. Because even okay, we will understand about now, just like tables, for report also there will be authorizations. Okay, we'll also understand how, just like we restricted giving access to VA01, in tomorrow's session, we will understand how to give restrict access to reports also. Okay,
Okay.
tomorrow we'll discuss that and start user administration. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. And Bhargav, we will be uploading this maybe in next
In the
1 hour,
same
right?
folder, in the same folder.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.